Over the last 4 weeks, I've walked you through the biggest wave of luxury development I've seen in this market. The Ritz-Carlton Residences delivering in Palm Beach Gardens, Caretta bringing mixed-use luxury to Juno Beach for the first time, HAVN, 123 Ocean, and Turnberry reshaping Singer Island, Forté Luxe on Jupiter's Intercoastal, Nautilus 220 ready for move-ins in Lake Park, over $1 billion in new construction, all of it within about a 20-mile stretch of Palm Beach County coastline. Today, I want to answer the question that has been the subtext of every video in this series. What does any of this actually mean for you? I want to answer that question 3 different ways. Once for the sellers, once for the buyers, and once for the people who've been thinking about relocating here, but haven't made the move just yet. Let's start with sellers. If you own property in Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, Juno Beach, Singer Island, or anywhere in that general corridor, here is the most important thing I can tell you. The pricing benchmarks for this market have moved. Not gradually, not incrementally. They've moved in a meaningful, structural way because of what the Ritz-Carlton Residences has established as the new ceiling for waterfront luxury in Palm Beach Gardens. Now, I want to be precise about this because I do not want to overstate it. If you own a 3-bedroom home in a golf course community a few miles inland, the Ritz-Carlton delivering condos at $4.5 to $15 million on the Intracoastal doesn't directly move your specific comparable set. You're not the same product. But here's what does happen. When a market gets a new, credible landmark development at the top of the luxury spectrum, it anchors the entire pricing narrative upward. It tells buyers, and more importantly, it tells appraisers and the data, that this is a market where world-class assets exist. It attracts attention from buyers who might previously have looked at Palm Beach Island or Naples instead, and it generates a baseline of coverage, visibility, and prestige that benefits every property in the surrounding area. The communities that feel this most directly are the ones closest to the water and the ones with the most direct comparable overlap. Palm Beach Gardens waterfront, Frenchman's Harbor, Rialto, The Cove, North Palm Beach waterfront, Old Port Cove. These are the neighborhoods where the pricing conversation has materially changed. My advice to sellers in this corridor, if you haven't had a current market analysis done in the last 6 to 12 months, now is the time. The numbers have moved. You should know exactly where you stand before you make any decisions about timing. Now, let's talk about buyers. One of the things I find most remarkable about this development wave, when I look at it all together, it's the price points represented. HAVN Residences and Yacht Club on Singer Island from $1.25 million. Nautilus 220 in Lake Park from $1.3 million. Caretta in Juno Beach from $1.5 million. 123 Ocean on Singer Island from $1.5 million. Forté Luxe in Jupiter from $3.9 million. The Ritz-Carlton in Palm Beach Gardens from $4.5 million. There's a spectrum from $1.25 to $15.5 million in 4 different communities with 4 genuinely distinct lifestyle experiences. Jupiter is a beach town with a small town feel. If you want great restaurants, the river, a relaxed pace, Jupiter is the answer. Palm Beach Gardens is polished and walkable. PGA Boulevard, Midtown, the Gardens Mall, world-class golf, more suburban luxury than beachside, but with intercoastal access. The Ritz-Carlton brand for those who want it. Juno Beach is protected and quiet and rare. If you want a genuine beach community where you actually know your neighbors and the sea turtles nest on your street, Juno Beach is unlike anywhere else in Florida. Singer Island is barrier island living. You have the Atlantic on one side, Intracoastal on the other, Peanut Island right there. Some of the best fishing in South Florida. And now, getting the infrastructure, the marinas, the restaurants, the architectural pedigree that it's always deserved. Now here's the buyer message that I want to leave with you. The pipeline of new construction in this market is not infinite. The land is not infinite. And the wave of development we're seeing right now, in many ways, the last of its kind. The Ritz-Carlton developer called this site the last 14 contiguous waterfront acres in Palm Beach County. Lionstone paid $13 million for 7/10 of an acre on Singer Island. Caretta's developer paid $20 million for 5.5 acres in Juno Beach. When developers are paying those prices for the land alone, it's because they know there's nothing behind it. There is no second tranche. There is no more coming. For buyers, what that means practically is this. The window to buy into new construction in this market with full selection and the full range of available inventory is not unlimited. 123 Ocean just launched. Turnberry is pending approval. The Ritz-Carlton is essentially sold. HAVN is mostly sold. The pipeline has a finite end. And now I want to speak directly to the people I talk to most often on this channel. People who are seriously considering relocating to North Palm Beach County from somewhere else. From Chicago, from New York, from Boston, from the Midwest, from the Northeast, from wherever you are, where it's cold 5 months of the year and expensive 12 months of the year. Let me tell you what I see on the ground here. The question I got 2 or 3 years ago was this: is North Palm Beach County as good as people say it is? The question I get now is, what am I waiting for? And I think the answer for a lot of people is that they're waiting for the infrastructure to fully catch up with the lifestyle. They've visited, they've loved the beaches and the weather and the pace, but they wondered whether the product, the homes, the restaurants, the amenity level was there yet for someone used to the luxury of a big city. Here's my answer. It is now. When JDL Development, the people behind One Chicago, chose Juno Beach for their first out-of-state project, they're not doing that because they think the market is almost good enough. They're doing it because they've done the analysis and concluded that the demand from exactly the buyer profile that made One Chicago successful is already here in South Florida. They're following the migration, and the price comparison still holds. $4, $5, $6 million homes in a market where equivalent product in Palm Beach Island, Miami Beach, or Naples would cost materially more, and where the pace of life is substantially less frenetic. My relocation clients consistently tell me 2 things after they've been here for a year. 1, I wish I would have done this sooner. And 2, I didn't realize how much I was paying for things I don't even want anymore. North Palm Beach County is a market where you get to make that trade. World-class product, real beach lifestyle, a community that feels like it was built for humans instead of traffic, and prices that relative to comparable markets are still the most compelling value proposition on the East Coast. If there is one takeaway from this entire 4-week series, one idea that I want to leave you with, it is this. The development we've been talking about is not just a moment, it's a market. When Ritz-Carlton chooses Palm Beach Gardens, when a Chicago developer names his Juno Beach project after a sea turtle, when Turnberry and Arquitectonica arrive at Singer Island at the same time, when the largest residential construction loan in Palm Beach County history gets placed for a single project, these things are not coincidences. They're declarations. their developers saying, "We've looked at every coastal market on the eastern seaboard, and this is the one. This is the one where the land is running out. The lifestyle is already exceptional. And the buyers, the real buyers with real money, making real decisions, arrive every single day. What exists now is what defines this market for the next several decades. You can act on that now, or you can watch it happen and wish you had." That's the end of this series, and genuinely, thank you for following along. I put a lot of work into this research and into these videos because I believe the people who make the best decisions are the ones who understand the market they're in. If you have questions about any of these developments, about what your home might be worth in this environment, or about what relocating here actually looks like on the ground and in the water, I would love to talk to you. There's a link in the description to book a free 15-minute consultation. It's genuinely free. No pitch, just the kind of honest, specific answers I would want if I was in your position. I'm Amanda Sweets, Realtor with Keller Williams Realty of the Palm Beaches. I'm covering Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, Juno Beach, and Singer Island. Subscribe for weekly updates, and I'll see you in the next video.